Hi guys, what's going on? This is Cool Toys, and what I have here on my table today is a G.I. Joe versus Cobra Spy Troops. This line, or at least this figure, came out around 2003. I remember purchasing it in the store. I've had it all this time. This is actually vintage. 2003. It is currently 2026 right now. So this is 23 years old, man. Time flies. But we need to slow it down a little bit. Check out these older vintage figures. Maybe you'll like them, maybe you don't. Some people passed on the line. I just picked them up in curiosity, and I believe I've only opened maybe one or two of them. A lot of them I still have on card. I may sell them or I may open them up. So we'll see. Let's check out this packaging here. Sorry, there's kind of a glare. That's why I got it on a funny angle. So it says right here, G.I. Joe verse Cobra. That's what it was called. And then the subline of it is Spy Troops. This is Duke. And I like his uniform here. It looks pretty good. You got the olive draft pants, the BDUs. You got some leather holsters. Looks like he has two golden revolvers. The handles are gold at least. And a nice tan shirt. Duke in his iconic blonde hair, and it looks like blue eyes. He should have blue eyes. He's got a helmet with a little gold visor on it, a little mouthpiece, and a machine gun right here. Looks a little bit oversized. These figures are oversized too. I believe it is an O-ring action figure, but they're actually in a 4-inch style. Looks like the Force Awakens. Their chest, like from Star Wars, is like wider and puffed out. And I mean, I don't know what they were doing with the sculpts in between certain lines of GI Joe. Just I guess testing the waters. But what is interesting about this GI Joe action figure? It comes with a disc, like a CD-ROM disc that you put in your computer. And right here it says, sorry, let me pick up the camera. Might be a little shaky, but just so y'all see. It says Mission Disc contains 2 cartoon episodes, PC game, digital comic book. So there's 2 cartoon episodes and a comic book in here, which is really cool. It says instant play, so I guess you just put it in your computer and it'll instantly play. You don't have to download it. It says right here, no download required. And let me bring in the camera one more time in case any of you missed anything or you want to get a better look at this figure. Pretty cool. It says G.I. Joe on his pant leg there. And I like the artwork of Duke holding his hand up here, pointing to the sky or pointing to, get the troops ready for a certain mission. And let's turn this around. So there's the disc if you didn't see it. Same artwork on the disc. See, it's disc 1 of 3. I believe I have all 3. So I'll review those later on, especially if you guys want to see it. Yeah, do me a favor, guys. Put some comments and make sure you like and subscribe. Here's the back of the box. You got G.I. Joe and a phone number there. Go G.I. Joe. Spy Troops. So Spy Troops, I believe, it was supposed to be like the good guys dressed up as the bad guys to sneak on their base and stuff, and the bad guys dressed up as good guys. But not all the action figures have the gear to make them, change teams. So, the whole Spy Troops thing was pretty strange. Only a few of them actually changed over to be spies. But I guess, maybe they can be a spy and just go on a regular like recon mission. So we got mission disc 1 of 3 right there with Duke, and it looks like they got shipwrecked, but Duke is by himself. So I just want to understand if this is disc 1 of 3. Where's shipwreck at? I guess you got to buy them separately. There's another disc 1, so maybe there's 2 disc 1s. Excuse me, my throat's really dry today. So here is disc 3 of 3. I know that's Cobra Commander. Not sure who this guy is. Maybe I don't know if it's Water Moccasin or I don't actually know. You can see kind of his face. So you guys let me know in the comments if you know who this dude is. And here is Mission Disc 2 of 3. You definitely got Snake Eyes here and looks to be Dusty. 3 disc, 6 figures. So go figure. Why does this pack just have one action figure in it? I don't think there's another action figure hidden in there in the bubble. You know, it's too small. Here, let's look at this real quick. Here's some information if you want to see it. And sorry, the camera's shaking a little bit. And right here it says 2003. So that's either the year it was produced or the year it came out, maybe even a year before 2003. You never know. And here's a little bio. Y'all can pause and read. It's pretty much the same thing as the last video that I read in the statement. And got some stuff down here in Hasbro. Let's turn it around one more time. Let's look underneath here. Here's a barcode. You got proof of purchase. It's kind of like open here, but that's on purpose because for the disc, the CD-ROM disc, you have to remove and cut out of the packaging. This is still sealed. And there's nothing right there. But anyway, I think it's interesting. I actually have another action figure to compare it to, an O-ring figure, vintage, and then a modern Rise of Cobra figure. Because this Duke is actually taller. He's not 3.75. I think he's 4 inches tall. So here's Cobra Commander in his battle uniform. And you can tell, I'm trying to get it matched up, you know, because he's in package, but where their feet are supposed to be, you maybe can't see it on camera, but Cobra Commander is a few millimeters shorter than Duke here, the 3.75, but the modern Cobra Commander here, hooded Cobra Commander, is exactly the same height. So, you know, this guy from Rise of Cobra, I believe, is like right around 4 inches, and these are 3.75. So, yeah, they are bigger. If you do like your modern Joes, he would mix in well. But like I was saying, their body width is wider than this vintage. Well, not this vintage, the Rise of Cobra action figure. His frame is smaller than his. So, you know, that's a shame. I really don't like the wider frame. They just need to stick to one measurement and continue with it. You know, O-ring measurement and your modern measurement. But this was in 2003, before Rise of Cobra. This was right after, you know, the vintage O-rings. So like I said, they're probably experimenting. This is comparing pretty much, I think, to the Sergeant Savage line. You know, this came out before or after, right after Sergeant Savage. I think that was in the 90s, and this is 2003. So they were just continuing on with that wide body. But, you know, they changed that when they had the movies come out. There's just a little bit of damage right here on the box, but the packaging, other than that, it's pretty mint. No scratches on the bubble. Like I said, I may or may not open it. The main reason I don't want to open it is because that's not the style that I collect. Like I was talking about, the width and the height and everything. Well, the height is good. The disc, I wonder if that thing still works. If you put this disc into a modern computer, would it play? And it would be cool if they mentioned what cartoons are on here, buddy. You know, hey Hasbro, you're telling us about cartoons, but they're not even mentioning the names. Are they brand new cartoons that people have never seen before? Are they vintage, you know, 1980s cartoons? Who knows? So if any of you know, I haven't looked it up on YouTube yet, if anyone has played this disc and they can tell you what cartoons it are. And also, what comic book? Is it based on the vintage comics or a brand new comic? So there may be, you know, information on this disc that a lot of people have never seen, or maybe they just saw when they were a kid, and these discs get scratched and damaged, you know, and I wonder if it corroded and if you can even play it in a computer nowadays. Anyway, that was basically my review on this. Like I said, I'm gonna have to check my storage box and see if I have the other discs 2 and 3. I believe I do, and they're single cards, so that's strange that there's more. There's 6 figures, but this one of 3. Anyway, thank you again for watching. I appreciate it. Please make sure you subscribe, give a thumbs up, share the video, tell your friends, and I'll be back next time with another review or diorama display. Thank you again. Take care. This was Cool Toys. Later.
Troops go undercover.
Push the spy mode! New Cobra troops! Get them! Skyscraper! Fire! Go, go!
G.I. Joe figures and vehicles each sold separately. Fortress not available for sale.